Hey guys, it's Holy Taboo, and guess what? It's patch day, August the 31st. Now, this is the first time I've done this, but we're going to go through the patch notes together. I quickly went on Primordial's Discord, and everyone was ranting and raving about this patch. Everyone seems to love it so far. It seems like there's a lot of cool stuff happening. So let's go through these notes. I haven't gone through them yet, so I apologise for a little bit stop and start when I'm trying to read or maybe pronounce some interesting words, but we'll see. Anyway, so let's have a look. First thing, Warrior Awakening. Well, we've heard about this, and I did a tiny little video on it, which I released earlier on today. Should have been done last week, but still. Warrior Awakening, that's really cool. Our warriors are on it, so they're going to get their big, great sword. So, you know, good luck to them, and if you've got a warrior, I hope you enjoy the questline. It'd be really interesting to see some photos and videos of this coming up. Valencia Part 2 has been added, including villas, miniature elephants, and much more. Okay, this is interesting. Now, I've heard a rumour, and it's only a rumour from someone in the guild, that these miniature elephants are actually more like mounts rather than these war animals. So this will be really cool to see if this is actually real or if I've just been trolled. So fingers crossed, we'll see. Now, Happy Awakening to the Warrior event. Okay, so this is interesting. So from the 31st of August to the 14th of September, you can buy items below for 1 loyalty, okay? Appearance change for 1 day, okay? Nice, 1 loyalty, fine. Loyalty Awakening gift pack, 1 per day per account. Wow, okay, this looks good. So obviously for this 2-week period, you can pay 1 loyalty and get 5 Blackstone weapons, 5 Blackstone armors, a hard black shard, a sharp black shard, a cronstone and a main fragment. Now this has got some serious in-game value. I mean, think that is probably what, 10 plus millions worth, easily. Obviously, that's probably going to make the prices go down for harp and sharp, but still. So yeah, definitely make sure you're logging on to collect this every day or to buy this every day. This is really, really good. Now, I'm presuming, just say one a day per account. Okay, so you can get this every day. Cool. Right, that's something everyone needs to be doing. First thing, log in, buy this for 1 loyalty. It's like 10 millions worth just for spending 1 loyalty. That is awesome. All players will be sent 3 guest passes following this maintenance to share with their friends. Okay, this is a nice idea. One of the things I did find strange was that sort of these guest passes weren't necessarily as easily come by as you'd imagine, especially with a buy-to-play game like this. So that's a really nice idea. Obviously, we all know the community's sort of gone down a little bit in numbers, so this is a pretty good step forward. I think this is nice. So let's have a look. We've got some nice photos here. Well, this is some new stuff coming out. Looks very nice. I'm sure we'll get into that later. The Warrior Awakening. Okay, yep. So we know that the Goyan's Greatsword has been released. So we'll see some pictures of that. And Sorceress. Okay, so for Sorcerer, After Midnight Stinger, Signs of Agony will be triggered instead of Crow Flare. Okay, that just sounds like a technical change. I don't know if that's a buff or a nerf or if it's just a technical thing, but okay, fair enough. Item changes. Let's have a look. Equipment Tailor coupon has been updated to the Pearl Shop store. Now, I'm wondering if that is the, what would you call it, like the exchange thing where you can exchange your costume so you can actually wear it like these outfits so you can exchange to a costume. That'd be quite interesting. Price of Artisan's Memory has been reduced from 1,400 to... Now, that's a good move. I remember having a look at these Artisan's Memories when I was trying to do the Kazaka, or I'm still trying to do it. I thought, wow, that is so expensive how little it gives you. So that's a nice change. That makes it a little bit more realistic, I think. Cooldown time of HP pot's been decreased from 5 to 3 seconds. Now that's interesting. I wonder if they'll do something like that for mana as well. I'm guessing that this is now going to be because of the damage output by certain classes, warriors. Yeah. I can imagine that's going to be in line. I'm pretty sure that started to get in line with what's happening in Korea. Now that's interesting, because if you think you're carrying these extra large pots, you can burn through these very, very quickly. So it'd be fun to see. So we seem to have some more cash shop items as well. So we've got 3 new pets. We've got the red panda, which looks like it's potentially quite cool. I wonder if that does count as a special though, rather than having it as a dog. I mean, no, it says panda and pandas aren't dogs, but you know what they're sometimes like. But it'll be interesting to see if that has got some special abilities, so I'll have to look at that. There's a jackal and the wolf dog, so 2 more dogs. Look quite nice, and also these are on discount as well, which is pretty cool. Okay, this is a bit interesting, and I thought this was going to come. So of course we now have the warrior sort of camo gear, but here's the greatsword camouflage stuff. Now I have to admit, I thought if you'd already purchased the camo gear, so your treant costume or your ghillie or your desert ghillie, I was kind of hoping that you'd actually get given your awakening weapon version, not necessarily for free, but even if they put these on a reduced price. So yeah, I have to admit, I find that a little bit, 900 pearls seems a bit much just so you can keep your ghillie effect. Now I'll be interested to see if it does keep your ghillie effect, or if you do lose your ghillie effect once you have the awakening weapon. So I'll have to ask one of the warriors in our guild to just confirm this, but that could be interesting, I guess, but not sure. Okay, so here's the next one. So the equipment tailoring coupon, you can transform certain equipment into a costume, I think that's going to go to. So that's quite nice as well. So if you've got to master or some of the high professions and you get given your little trainer's outfit type thing that you can wear, you can actually make that a costume now. So that means you could also put on the silver embroidered ones. So that's quite cool, especially if you're into your professions. And we have a few more things. I won't go into these ones too much. So full Kunoichi set and a full Berserk set. Some more, and then his bits between. So that's very cool. And of course, typical new underwear. Great. And there's some new housing stuff. Now I have to admit, I'm not massively on it for housing, but if you do, maybe that's pretty cool for you. So let's look at the next part. So we've got some mechanical changes. Let's have a look. When a player steps into a house, it will become brighter without any lighting items. Now that is important. I used to hate that coming into a house at night, especially one where I'd put a box. It was so irritating to go in and not be able to see anything, so I'm pretty happy about that. Imperial delivery content has been applied to all channels. Okay, that's pretty cool. The Imperial delivery stuff is just a nice way to make some money. Wow, this next one's a big one. Cooking and alchemy will take no energy. Wow. Now that's interesting. Again, I feel slightly bad for the people who've got really high. I know we've got one guy in the guild who's a master alchemist, but yeah, that's quite interesting that they're taking the energy out there. Very interesting, but it means that we can all get up there, I guess. So hopefully some more alchemy stones going on the market. That would be very nice. Maximum number of character slots been increased to 12. That's also nice for storing your energy. So the maximum numbers of protected guild members can be increased. Okay, this makes me laugh. We had a bit of an issue in our guild about this protected guild members thing. For those who don't know, a guild can actually put members on a protection list, which means if you start a guild war, basically the opposing team actually has to flag up on them like a normal PvP player. So it basically keeps lower leveled or lower geared people out of trouble if that's what they like. So interesting. The world boss Karanda has been added, so that's the Harpy boss. That's the one you can drop basically the Kazaka version, or the ultimate version of the awakening weapon. So that's pretty cool. Level 55 combat level up quest has been added. Not sure what that is. I'll have to have a look. That sounds interesting. I'm hoping that's going to be a skill point thing, because that'll be really nice. So Valencia Part 2. So Villa System has been added. I heard about them, so it's more housing. That's quite nice. Valencia Part 2, miniature elephants. It's interesting. It still doesn't say if it's a mount or not. Maybe it'll say below. Chance to get higher tier horse when breeding. Okay, I haven't done horse breeding in ages, but lucky for those. Actually, funnily enough, as we just logged in, one of our guild members who's just bred 2 tier 6 horse just got a tier 5. So I don't think they've necessarily felt that change, but never mind. We can't win them all. Let's have a look. Where were we? Description of the combo combat skill point for charge. Ooh, a guild elephant's been corrected. Okay, very nice. The angle of viewpoint has been adjusted while sailing on fish bait. That could be nice because that was quite irritating, to be fair. Animations have had 2 players while mounting 2-seater horse. Okay, that's probably quite nice because the second the second person on the horse basically stays exactly still. So while the person who's riding the horse looks slightly realistic, the other person is so strange. But okay, fair enough. Let's see what else we've got. Obtain rate of combat. Oh. Obtaining rate of combat XP has been increased for players who are level 50 or higher. So that to me would seem that they've lowered the amount of XP needed to level. Maybe I've got that wrong. Obtaining rate of combat XP. So yeah, that to me seems it's going a higher XP game, which is quite nice. Maybe I'll get to 59 now. Fingers crossed. I'll take a little copy of that actually, just to see what people in the guild think. I'm not too sure. Okay, this is cool. New daily achievement, daily grinding hour has been added. I really like this. So you can now choose whether you have a 200% XP buff or a 100% XP buff. So the one's for 30 minutes, one's for 60. So ultimately you get the same amount of XP. Now, obviously the 200% I guess is better if you use it in the night cycle, but you don't have that margin of error. So you need to make sure you're fully repaired, have your pots, etc. You're not about to get PvP'd. So that's quite good, even though I can imagine there'll be some big griefing on that. Monster changes. Okay, let's have a look. The amount of obtainable hunter seals has been changed when defeating Kazaka. Okay, so we might get some more hunter seals. Fair enough. Okay, the item drop rate has been increased when defeating the following monsters. Wow, okay. So you've got a better chance of getting a Kazaka sealed weapon box. That's cool. Oh, nice. Okay, so basically if you do your daily boss scrolls as well, you've got a high chance of getting all the armor. So Red Nose, Geath for Geath's helm, Beg for Beg's gloves, Muskin's boots from Musk, and Habitate's tree armor. So that's interesting. So that's quite nice. I quite like that. More obtainable items have been added when defeating the following monsters. So Kazaka will now also drop Laverto, weapon bundles, and Mark of Shadows. Okay. Party bonus routing. Interesting. I'm not quite sure what this party bonus route is, but I think it's just, again, you've got a better chance of getting items when you're doing these. Okay, so does that mean the oh, so basically I think where it says routing, it's supposed to be looting. I think that means if you're in the party, you also have a chance to get some of these extra items. So that's really cool. Now, okay, so that's a very brief overview. And I know there's been some slight changes to the PvP, so we'll go have a quick look at that very quickly. Okay, so I've now popped this up. Now, I'm going to do a quick overview of the PvP side of this because it is interesting, but you know, people who are interested in this would have probably already gone through it. But basically now they've changed how PvP works, or ish. Now if you're in the desert and you get negative karma, now obviously when you're in the desert, that's when you can no longer see your map. So I'm not saying when you're in Valencia, but when you're in the desert. If you're in negative karma and you die from, I think, PvE mobs, sorry, PvP mobs, so people, God, not mobs, you don't lose enhancements, XP or crystals. Now that's changed compared to what it used to be. So that's quite interesting. So obviously evil just means you're in negative karma, basically. And if you're in the desert, see, killed by players, we lose crystals? No. Will you lose XP? No. Will you lose enhancements? No. Now that is really, really interesting. So I have to admit, I'm quite intrigued to see how that will work now, because if you're in the desert and you're doing some PvP, that no longer means you're going to have this worry about getting caught. Now, one of the other things I did see, I wonder if it's down here, if it's up. Is this a punishment buff? Yeah, you get a movement speed debuff if you've been punished. Anyway, if you've been PvP'd or you're PvPing in the desert, you get this mark. Now, if you die while we have this mark on, this mark lasts half an hour, you actually go to like a prison camp. So rather than getting up here, I think it's around here. However, if an evil player gets killed by another player or NPC in the desert, no penalty will be applied, nor crystal shattering, XP or enhancement count decrease. There's a catch. If you die, you'll wake up in the criminal camp. Your sentence punishment buff is subject to your karma point. So this is interesting. So I'm guessing as the lower karma you are, the worse the debuff. But this is the catch. You have to get out of this prison. So it puts a bit more sort of depth in the game, and I really like this. So let's do a quick overview. We've got some new cash shop items, nice. We have the Warrior Awakenings, we have a new boss, so another timer to keep an eye on. And basically collect your loyalty points every day. And also you've got your Uber hour or Uber half an hour of leveling given to you free now. So I think these are some really nice changes. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this. Take care guys, until next time. Bye.